fun begins.
How's it going?
Hello.
Well,
Greetings, young Jedi.
hello there.
Hey everyone, Hybrid Toy Reviews here, and today we're taking a look at the Star Wars The Black Series, Ezra Bridger, as he appears on Peridea in Star Wars Ahsoka. This is a figure that I've been very, very excited to add to the collection for a long time. I really love Amon Esfandi's portrayal of Ezra Bridger in the Ahsoka series. He might be potentially my favorite part of that cast. I really, really love the guy. Met him at a con, the nicest guy ever, and I have wanted to add him to the shelf forever. And while in the first Ahsoka series wave, we did get this really good little flashback Ezra, which has been a nice addition to the Rebels shelf, I wanted the red, Jedi hermit robes that he was rocking. And about 9-10 months ago, we started seeing some leaked parts, and I've just been counting down the days ever since. So really, really happy to have this on the table here. I got this a little bit early from up in Canada at Toy Snowman. Looks like this wave is starting to hit everywhere in Canada at this point, so hopefully that means in the US here we're going to start seeing it here in the next couple weeks. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the review. And here's Ezra in the packaging. We'll go ahead and take a look at it. It is your standard Black Series packaging in that light blue Ahsoka series coloring. So you have your Black Series logo above a big window showing Ezra and his new lightsaber off very well. Number 18 in the Ahsoka line, Ezra Bridger, Peridea, in quotes. Star Wars Ahsoka, Warning 4 Plus Hasbro. This side of the box features some really awesome looking art of the king himself. A little bit of a Peridea, the temple background there, and then his name down below. This side features your wraparound window, your wraparound blue stripe, your Black Series logo. Round back features that same side art, a Black Series logo again, a bio about Ezra, and then number 18 in the line. Bunch of legal stuff, Disney, Hasbro, barcode, more legal stuff down below. Up top features a hanger tab. Very standard action figure stuff that you would see on any other Black Series you might pick up. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this figure open and get into the review. Here's our new Ezra Bridger out of the packaging. Let's go ahead and start by looking at the accessories. So, he comes with one being his blue-bladed lightsaber he constructs in the season finale, and it has a very, very nice blue blade. It's a little bit dark, but that's alright. I mean, it's the same as pretty much any other blue lightsaber blade in the line. It is a nice, bold, blue, transparent blade. The blade is removable from the hilt, like so. You just unpeg it from the hilt. The hilt has a little bit of a shroud around the emitter, so there is a little notch-in on the side of the blade. You just have to make sure that you align that when you put the hilt back on. Looking at the hilt, Gonna complain here. I could tell from the promo photos, Savage Press had it. Shock T looked like she was gonna have this problem, but they painted it before it came out. This is an unpainted lightsaber hilt. The silver is just plastic, and then they painted the grip area. They added the black and the gold stripe. So it's like, it's half effort, They have just started doing this with a couple of recent releases, and I don't like it. Every lightsaber hilt in the line all the way up until 2024 has been painted, and then in 2025 they have started to sprinkle them in here and there, and I'm just not a big fan. It's like, what? It can't even be a penny a paint, right? Like, is that killing your profit margin that bad? I'm not the guy that says cheap Hasbro, scummy Hasbro all the time. I stand up for Hasbro all the time. It's hard to when they do this kind of thing. So, that's it. Otherwise, the sculpt looks excellent. You see that Kanan-styled emitter there, and then the nice black grip with a belt hanger there, the gold stripes on each side. Very, very well created, or well recreated here, and I just wish that they'd put in the effort and done it right like they've done on every other lightsaber in the line. So, like I mentioned, it does feature a little hanger, and on his belt there's a hook there, and it hangs on very nice and secure. There's a lot of pegs sticking through there, so it's not going to fall off during casual play there if it's hanging on the belt. So yeah, all in all, very, very good work on the lightsaber. Sculpt-wise, just come on, why are we cheaping out? Setting the saber aside, let's look at the king, bringing him up. Just that likeness, I'm seeing it, I'm loving it. When I met Amon, he still had the Ahsoka series hair. It was pretty quick after the finale. He was at Fan Expo Cleveland in 2024, and he still looked every bit the role. So having a mental picture, this is the guy. I mean, you got those piercing blue eyes, which are definitely contacts in the show, but this is him. I mean, it's a great likeness. Like, I look at this, and this is Ezra. I love everything about this. It's sculpted very, very nicely. loving the hair, looks very good. The beard, just that right amount of scruffy going on. And you got the 2 lines from the scar on his cheek from battling the Inquisitor in the Rebel Season 1 finale. So love that they've kept that. That they didn't fade it or just not do it in live action. You know, they've kept it there. It's a definitive trait for Ezra at this point. And just an excellent likeness. Really, really loving everything going on there. And then looking at the figure, you know, it's a little bit of a busy design. It was in the show, but Ezra's been lost. He's been, you know, lost in Peridea in this faraway galaxy for, it's got to be a decade, right? I mean, it might be, you know what, 9, 10, 11 years, something. It's been about a decade. And he's just been putting together what he can. And I mean, we saw Peridea. There's no Walmart. There's no The Gap. You know, what's he going to do? So he's just making do with what he can scrape together. Obviously, the Rebels era jumpsuit, you know, was long gone at that point. And it just looks really, really good. There's just a lot of cool stuff going on, so let's get through it. He's wearing a baggy red kind of robe over top of everything. There's a tan, sort of Jedi-like tunic going on underneath his sleeves, and then there's little wrist wrappings. He's got, can't be a communicator, but some kind of tech thing on his wrist there, and just fabric over here. Underneath all that, he's wearing what looks like a chainmail vest. I've seen something online that implied that might be Stormtrooper dog tags, which in that case implies that our boy has been like hyper lethal while he's been on Peridea. I don't know that I entirely like that. You know, I can't picture him just killing, you know, thousands of Stormtroopers, but I mean, maybe you gotta do what you gotta do. Maybe they were just survival dog tags, but almost seems a little boastful for Ezra. So I don't know that I entirely believe that they're Stormtrooper dog tags. I'd seen that online and I was like, yeah, I don't know. He's got this really cool strap thing going around. It's painted and sculpted very well. It's like a tan cord color, and then there's some brown like leather wraps over there. It is free floating, except for where they've glued it back here on the shoulder, so it kind of has some movement, can get out of the way, but it's not gonna like come off or shift too far. I really like that. He's got this really cool shoulder pad looking thing. It's just got a bunch of different materials woven together in universe, and it looks really cool. It's actually put on like the Stormtrooper and Clone Trooper shoulder pads, where it's on a strap, and then the strap has a ring around the pin in the shoulder there. So it actually like travels with the arm. It can travel away from the arm. You know, you can kind of freely position it, and you're not going to damage that, which I love. Going down, he's got not necessarily a belt, but it's like a big fabric wrap around the waist. Looks really good. You got these little tassels hanging down. He's got another like leather belt going down to some sort of a pouch. Just very, very well done. He's got some kind of like tan brown pants going on, and then his boots are really cool. They look like, you know, like there's like a actual boot at the base, but then there's like this like strapped on woven like sticks and stuff on the front, I'm guessing, just to give the front of the shin just a little bit of armor, and looks really, really good. It's a very intricate costume. I imagine, is there anyone out there cosplaying it yet? I imagine it's not like the easiest thing to put together, but it's just a really, really good costume. I love everything about it. Running through some articulation, he features a double ball neck, which allows him to look far up, which is excellent. You can go that far down, which is also excellent. Side to side, ton of pivot going on there. You can get all the head expression you want. His arms come up to a T-pose, where there's like an insanely deep butterfly joint. Like that's awesome. Like I've never seen such a good butterfly joint on anything. And I mean, I'm including like Marvel Legends Spider-Mans and stuff. Like that's just insane range. As I mentioned, 360 at the shoulders. See that shoulder pad's just kind of going where it needs to go to be out of the way. He has single-jointed elbows that go past 90 and then swivel, but the baggy sleeves, if you swivel it too far one way or the other, means you can't go past 90 at the elbow joint anymore. It kind of straightens it out a little bit. Just is what it is, but it works out rather well. 360 on the wrist, with both of them hinging up and down for lightsaber pointing action. I love that. Mid-torso ball joint allows him to crunch that far forward, that far back, and of course you have your side to side and a bunch of pivot there. His legs can kick out that far. There are slits in the side of the robes on either side to allow him to do not quite a true split, but a pretty good split. He can kick that far forward. The lower portions of the robes are very, very soft, rubbery, pliable, so they get out of the way. They go back a little bit. There is an upper thigh rotation in there. I personally don't care about it, but that makes or breaks it for some people in the community, so I hope y'all are out there buying it. There are single jointed knees, They go 290 and then swivel at the knee, which kind of negates the thigh for me. But then, additionally, there's a boot cut there, which is really cool. I love seeing the boot cut come into the line. And then the feet can point basically straight down, decently far forward. And there's a forward-facing pin for rocker there. And yeah, it looks really good. Comparing him really quickly to the other Ahsoka series Ezra, which really is just your Rebels Season 4 Ezra, but with the Amon Esfandi likeness. You know, I think both of these have a really good likeness to Amon, and they're both excellent figures. I would struggle to tell you which one I like more, honestly, because I love this, but I kind of consider it a Rebels figure, even though it's in Amon's likeness. I have a mentality of this kind of thing where when you get a live-action actor, that means that that's what the cartoon character looked like all along, you know? So, you know, I think of, like, Ariana Greenblatt as being what the Ahsoka series Ahsoka looks like. So I'm okay with putting the Ahsoka series figure on the Rebels shelf because that's just what he looked like in Rebels. We just didn't know, you know? So I love these both, and I think that they've done great work by my boy both times. And they've just done excellent there. So I love it. To do some other comparisons, how about Sabine? Because, of course, he can count on her. And then we'll bring in Ahsoka, of course, and Hera. All of these are our live-action adaptations. Really wish by now we would have had a Mandalorian series Zeb in the pilot gear. Hopefully that comes, maybe with the Mandalorian movie. Here's our live-action adaptation of Grand Admiral Thrawn. Let me get him standing up. He's a little front-heavy on those ankles. You gotta lean him back all proud like. There he is standing. There is Captain Enoch, and then just definitely give us a standard 6-inch figure. Here is the Night Trooper, since I like to use the new Stormtrooper for that. It works very well. As you see, he's taller than Sabine. Everyone is. He's a little taller than Ezra, but he's not gargantuan. You know, he's 6 foot or maybe 5'11", just a smidge under maybe. I feel that works really well for Ezra. I like the scaling here, and I think Ezra did a great job. So at the end of the day, what do I think of the new Ezra Bridger from Peridea? I am just so happy to finally have this figure. It has been one of my biggest wants in the line since he showed up on screen in the series. It is just, I mean, he's a favorite character of mine. I grew up in that Clone Wars era. Rebels was kind of like my high school thing, but I latched onto that show like hard. Like that show was just amazing, and I've always loved Ezra, and you know, that cliffhanger, you know, I was there. I had to wait those like 7 years to figure out what happened. And Ezra's finally home, and I'm so happy about it. And I'm just thrilled that Hasbro, they've done some of their best work here. This figure, I'm promising, is going to be on the top 10 of the year at the end of the year. And maybe there's some personal bias there, and don't you dare call me out, because I'm just so happy to finally have him on the shelf. So, do I recommend Ezra from Peridea? Absolutely, go pick it up. I have zero flaws with the figure, and I refuse to believe that it's rose-tinted goggles making me think that. I really have no gripes. I think the likeness is great. I think the articulation is great. Sucks they didn't paint the silver on the lightsaber, but you know, he doesn't need a lightsaber. You know, the Force is his ally. So that's, I love this. This is just a great figure, and I highly, 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 highly recommend it. So go pick it up. Hybrid's blessing has been given. This is a must-have for any collection that features characters from the Ahsoka series. So that's it for now. Thanks a bunch for watching. It means a lot that you did. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that end of video stuff. I'll catch you next time. Until then, may the Force be with each and every one of you, and goodbye.